Hello.
Hello.
Now you may be wondering, why are you sitting in a dark car with your Aunt Kim?
Why would you do that? Why?
Why? It's because we're in Florida.
Florida!
For a week.
A week!
And it's gonna be awesome.
Awesome!
Let's go. Upon landing in Orlando, Aunt Kim and I were hungry, so we went to IHOP to wait for the rest of the crew to show up. We each got hot chocolate, because that's just what you do, and I got the cheesecake pancakes, which were actually pretty good. We then headed off to Walgreens to get some snacks for the week and for me to touch the first palm tree of the trip. I'm about to touch a palm tree and be the first person on this trip to touch said palm tree, because apparently the little tiny palm tree at Walgreens didn't count. We've touched a palm tree. After Uncle Todd arrived, we checked into our room after getting a free upgrade, before going back out to get some more snacks and calling it a day. Good morning. It is our first full day here in Florida. I think today's plan, we were talking about going to the seashore, but we've got some car issues and stuff, so I think we're gonna deal with those and then kind of just chill out today, kind of get our bearings, plan the rest of the week that isn't already planned. We're gonna go see we're gonna go see the new Captain America movie tonight in Disney Springs. I think that's the plan. So it's just kind of a chill day. Right now I'm walking down to the pool. Uncle Todd and Aunt Kim are there already, so I'm gonna go meet them. My dad and Aunt Wendy are still asleep, so we're just kind of chilling today. So yeah, that's what we're doing. After starting the day right by chilling next to the pool in the hot tub, we then went out for breakfast to this fancy little place called Kiki's. They were extremely busy for a Sunday morning, so we ended up having to wait a while before we could go in, but that was alright. I got some hot chocolate again, because that's just what you do, and this breakfast scrambler bowl thing, which was pretty good with some hot sauce. We then split up to go deal with our car issue before heading back to the hotel to meet up and pile into one car and head out to Disney Springs. I've been to Disney Springs before, but I've only ever been to one area that I can remember, and I've only been at night, so being there during the day and seeing more of Disney Springs was actually pretty neat. We started by going into one of many Disney-themed clothing stores. Then found ourselves in the Star Wars themed store, which included some lightsabers, and stumbled into the Candy Cauldron, where they have candy apples in every shape you could think of. And we even got to watch someone decorate a Rice Krispie treat. We then headed back towards one of the central locations to wait for our movie to start, the whole reason we were in the Springs to begin with. After the movie, people were kind of hungry, so before our dinner reservation, we explored some more of the Springs. We headed in the direction of the areas I had been to before, stumbling into a gluten-free bakery along the way. We looked at the new and some old Lego sculptures, including Olaf, who, according to Aunt Kim, we then headed into the Ghirardelli store to get some chocolate, where we found the most disgusting chocolate to ever exist, before finally making our way to our dinner reservation at Maria and Enzo's, a cool 1930s airport-themed Italian restaurant. The next day, we were supposed to go to Busch Gardens, but it was raining, so after changing our tickets for the next day, we instead went to Life Aquarium in Orlando. We started by walking backwards through the aquarium on a sea turtle tour, where we got to know a bit about the inner workings of the aquarium, watched them feed a sea turtle, saw the biggest pufferfish in existence, and even gave a snack to some of the fish ourselves, before wandering through the rest of the aquarium on our own. After a quick snack for lunch, it was time to move on. Hello, it's day 2.
Day 2!
We just came out of Life Aquarium. Now I'm gonna go look at Uncle Todd's campground that he's gonna live in next winter. And then do something.
Harass each other.
Yeah, harass each other. That's what we're doing today. So after driving for what felt like forever, we finally arrived at Thousand Trails, Orlando, so Uncle Todd and Aunt Wendy could check it out. It seemed like a fairly nice place to camp for a while, but I'm no camping expert, so what do I know? We then drove back towards our hotel to get dinner at Rocco's Tacos, a cool Mexican restaurant with lots of neat and cool art pieces in their main lobby area. And they even come and make the guac right in front of you. I got this mocktail, which flavor I can't remember, and these enchiladas, which were pretty good. Good morning. Today is day 3. We're going to Busch Gardens and Tarpon Springs for dinner. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna eat sheep.
Sheep.
And mint.
And mint. That's right. It was now finally time for Busch Gardens, somewhere I had never been before. The first thing that had to be done was looking at the cheetahs, after which Dad and Aunt Kim rode a roller coaster before we all watched a cheetah running demonstration. We then headed off to ride this little train through the safari where we saw these cool giraffes before continuing to wander around, looking at all the animals that were in the park. It was then time for lunch, which we ate overlooking the safari area, before continuing our trek through the park, with Dad and Aunt Kim riding roller coasters here and there. There was plenty of art throughout the park, as well as lots of neat things to see, like this orangutan carrying a baby. We continued walking until we arrived at the bird area, where you could feed the birds and they'd come sit right on your shoulders and even head, like they're doing to Aunt Wendy here. The birds are really pretty, including this hyacinth macaw we saw on our way out, and yes, Aunt Kim, I got him when he turned around. With that, we started to make our way to the exit, but not before Aunt Kim rode one last roller coaster, the Iron Gauzy. We then drove to Tarpon Springs for the sole purposes of visiting this sponge diving shop, where we saw our first snowman of the trip and said hi to this little guy. And for eating at Hella's, a Greek restaurant with their own pastry shop attached. I had never really had Greek food before, and it was pretty good. It's day, I don't even know anymore.
Day wonderful.
Yes.
Day dun 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 dun.